Hi everyone! We'll need to solve the following problem. Let's first read this problem just to get the general idea of the situation. A surveyor is asked to find the distance from the southernmost point C to the northernmost point A on Minnow Lake. He steps off 200 yards perpendicular to segment CA to point B to set up his equipment. He finds that measure of angle CBA is 53 degrees 48 minutes. What is the distance across the lake? Round to the nearest whole number. Again, from the first time we read it, we got an idea that surveyor is working on a lake, takes certain measurements and tries to obtain certain measurements. This type of application problems, we want to start with a sketch. Well, we already have some picture given here, but now let's read the problem one more time, paying more attention to the details, and let's add more information to the sketch. So once again, it says, a surveyor is asked to find the distance from the southernmost point C, right here, to the northernmost point A on Minnow Lake. Okay, so A is here. It means that surveyor needs to find distance from C to A. Since it's unknown, let's label it with X. Now let's continue reading. He steps off 200 yards perpendicular to CA to point B. Point B is here, and since he stepped off 200 yards perpendicular to CA, that means that this is the right angle, and segment CA is 200 yards. Let's keep reading. He finds that measure of angle CBA, 53 degrees 48 minutes. Angle CBA is this one. So we added its measure to our sketch. And it looks like that's all we're given, right? The question is, what is the distance across the lake? We already labeled segment CA with an X. Let's try to find it. From our knowledge of solving right triangles, we know that we'll need to use right triangle trigonometry. In other words, we need to identify the trigonometric function that will help us to find the unknown side. So to decide which one to use, sine, cosine, or tangent, let's identify how the given information relates to the unknown information. So we're given angle, and we're also given its adjacent side, right? What we need to find is the opposite side of the known angle. Okay, so what trigonometric function involves adjacent side and the opposite side? That is tangent function. We know that tangent of angle B is the opposite side over the adjacent side. So let's plug in what's known. Angle B equals 53 degrees 48 minutes. Now the opposite side, it's the unknown side, X, and the adjacent side is 200. We'll need to use calculator to find X, but before that, let's solve for X. Let's get X by itself so that we know what to enter in the calculator. To get X by itself, I will need to clear the fraction on the right hand side, so I will multiply by 200 so that the denominator cancels. So since I multiplied on the right, I have to multiply it on the left. And from here I can see that X equals 200 times tangent of 53 degrees 48 minutes. If your calculator allows you to enter degrees and minutes, you can go ahead and do that. On my calculator, I have to convert degrees and minutes to just degrees. To do that, I'm going to write 53 degrees. And since 1 degree contains 60 minutes, I'm going to write the fraction 48 over 60 to calculate what part of 1 degree is represented by 48 minutes. So that's 53 degrees plus 48 divided by 60. 0.8 plus 0.8 degrees, so that's 53.8 degrees. So what I'll enter in my calculator is 200 times tangent of 53.8 degrees. 200 times tangent 53.8, and I know I'm using degrees because it says D right here at the top. So that what x equals to, in the problem it says round to the nearest whole number. So that's going to be 273. Since we rounded, I'm going to say approximately 273 yards. So that will be the distance across the lake from C to A. And since the application problems are usually given to us in the sentence form, it is appropriate to write the answer in the sentence form as well. The distance across the lake is 273 yards. So that's one example of the application problem. I'd like to emphasize one more time that you want to start each problem with making a labeled sketch.